Good day, everyone. So last lesson on our first lesson, we have started having examples about random variable x. So now we will going to continue from that given example on how to find the probability distribution of discrete random variable. So for example, we will going to use the previous example, statistical experiment. A coin is tossed upward, count the number of heads. So we already determined the possible values of x of random variable x. So we know already that the possible value for random variable x are 0 and 1, counting the number of heads. Next, what we need to do is that is the reason why we need the outcomes, the number of outcomes. So for the same statistical experiment, we know that the number of outcomes for tossing a coin and counting the number of heads have two possible outcomes. That is the head and the tail. So now we will going to use that outcome to find the probability distribution of a discrete random variable. So we will going to show this one using a table. Okay, for example, x. Okay, write all the values of x, that those are 0 and 1. Okay, next we will going to use the result for each event in the probability in the outcomes. Okay, so we will going to determine that as f of x. Okay, so the question would be how many zeros. We will going to count the zeros from the previous example. So we know that 0, 1. How many zeros? We have 1. And how many 1? We have also 1. Okay, so we will going to use that using your f of x. Okay, 1 and 1. Okay, remember always that your f of x, or the sum of f of x, is determined by the number of outcomes. So a total of 2. Okay, now we will going to have the probability distribution. Okay, the probabilities of each random variable. So when I say probability, that is represented by p of x, meaning probability distribution of random variable x. So how could we find the probability of each random variable? Okay, what we're going to do is simply know the frequency, or f of x, frequency of random variable x, that is your f of x. Okay, know the frequency, that is 1, and then divided by total frequency of x. So that will be 1 for this frequency of 0 over 2. Same goes with a random variable 1. So frequency of random variable 1 is 1 over total frequency, that is 2 over 2. So that is 1/2. Then make sure that the probability distribution should be either less than 0, less than 1 or equal to 1, but more than 0 or equal to 0 for the probability distribution. Okay, and we need to find also the summation of p of x. When we say summation, what we do is simply add all this probability distribution of each random variable. So 1/2 plus 1/2, that is 1. Note that the summation of all probability distribution, or all the probabilities of your x random variable should be equal to 1.